The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riftnationnetwork, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hey guys, Haunting Podcast. I'm your host, Christina. Usually we're talking about the supernatural, the paranormal, and the just plain weird, but tonight we're going to do something a little different. And basically, instead of me telling the story, I'm going to let other people tell their stories. And that's kind of the idea in my little haunted cabin in the woods. Hopefully the internet survives tonight, because we have tried 3 times. This is the fourth go. Tonight, I have a wonderful, wonderful woman. I'm happy to call her family. She is doing a wonderful, wonderful thing with the world. So many kids right now in the economy being the way it is don't have adequate access to musical instruments and learning how to play. So that's kind of her key goal. I'm going to try not to get emotional. This was because of a tragedy that happened in our family. Um, my nephew, who was more like my little brother, um, passed away suddenly, and nobody was expecting it. And besides his wife and son, nothing meant more to him than music. And, you know, and being able to share that passion and that gift with the world meant the world to him. So to honor him in such a way means the world to me. So I'm going to bring her on. Her name's Lisa. She's going to talk about the Green Eggs Foundation, which was named after my nephew, Sam Parrish. He was known as Sam Green Eggs. Awesome, awesome dude. Played a lot of heavy, heavy tunes, but awesome guy. But let me get her on and we'll talk more about the foundation, what they're doing, the fundraiser they have going on, and maybe even some spooky stuff. We'll see. All right. So, welcome, Lisa.
Hello. Yay, I'm here.
Yay. We finally got a podcast. It only took 4 times. How are you? Thank you for doing this at such short notice, kind of, sort of, because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do
Yeah,
it or not.
absolutely.
So, why don't you tell the viewers what the Green Eggs Foundation is and what you're trying to do
Well,
with
the
it?
Green Eggs Foundation was formed by a group of us wanting to not only just music, but anything to do with the arts. So theater, written word, poetry,
Okay.
everything. Like anything to do with any type of art, we want to help facilitate. Right now, we're raising funds to get a location so we could start these programs. We have a lot of interest, obviously, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
right now we're doing a lot of legwork. We're going to a lot of festivals, setting at tables, meeting everybody. Um, so that's what we're working on now. And that's where we're at.
That's awesome. So you're gonna have like an education center
Yeah.
there in is it gonna be in
Yeah,
Elkins?
right now, we want to start in Elkins, and then of course, sky's the limit. We can take this as far as everybody wants to take it. So that's what we're looking for.
Awesome, awesome. Definitely remember, I mean, it's a little getting too close. I don't know if you can overnight me some flyers for the main con
Yes, I can. I
for
can
the
get them. I
table.
can get them to you.
Y Yeah, if you can do that, then I can certainly, because it's gonna be thousands of people there, and I wanna share, the message that you guys are trying to do in
Yeah.
Sam's honor. Um, I could tell stories about Sam all day because, like, we grew up. I'm not gonna try to embarrass him, unlike I do with family, but anybody that knew Sam, he was the scariest teddy
Mhm.
bear. That's how I always describe Sam. If you ever see him in person, he was the scariest looking, I'm not gonna cuss, that you would ever come across. 'Cause, like, he's 6'4", he was covered in tattoos all the way up his neck, all down his hands, missing some teeth, and he was a gnarly
Yeah.
looking dude, but he would literally give you the shoes on his feet, the shirt off his back. I mean, it's been more than once he's been kind of a support for me. Um, Amazing dude. So it was heartbreaking. It was a big hit, I know, for the music community
Yeah,
there
it
in
was.
Elkins when he passed. At the funeral, just seeing the amalgam of personalities he was able to touch in such a short, time span, because he was, mid 30s. I'm not gonna call out his age. But he, like, it was so awesome to see such a mixture of people. You had the little, church
Yeah.
ants, and then you had these heavy metal rockers, with the colored hair and the tattoos, and everybody is
Mhm.
jiving together. There's no like mixed blood or, you're going to hell. There we go. First one. Although
Yeah.
technically that wasn't one. Um, but um, it was just an amazing thing to see how many people and how many people afterwards really reached out and helped, with the fundraiser that happened shortly
Yeah.
thereafter. So it's just amazing. So you're doing this fundraiser in October,
Yeah, that's our
correct?
first big fundraiser that we've put together. I mean, we've what?
Okay. What's that
It is
called?
called the first annual Elkins Fright Night. So this is something we're looking to do every year around Halloween. Um, Even though we're raising money for the kids, this is an adult party. So anything and everything imaginable that you would like to do as an adult that you may have done when you were in high school or maybe college that you forgot you liked doing.
There's no evidence of that. Do I really wanna open that up, to have film evidence of me doing anything? Because I never did anything. Um, but what day is this
This
happening
is
in
October
October?
18th. The doors are opening at 4 p.m.
Okay.
We can go all the way until I think they told us the latest is 2:30 a.m. So as long as you want the party going, we'll keep it going.
Nice. Oh, I meant to say hi, Renee. Hi, people were saying hi. Um, so if people wanted to get involved with the fundraiser, how would they do that?
Well, first off, if you're over 21, please come party with us. Get a ticket, come to the show. We have two different stages going. So there's going to be music happening back and forth. We have every genre from country. We have a great guy by the name of Briar Williams coming in, and he has some fantastic country. If you like some of the older, like 90s country that had that feel, that grit, he's your
Mhm.
guy. And then we got all the way up to our headliner, which is Acid Mind Drainage out of Buchanan. They actually just played a music festival with CKY. They just dropped their second album. They're doing all kinds of
Nice.
stuff, and they're high energy. They're great, good drinking music. So
That sounds fun. So this is gonna be in October because there's people
Mhm.
all over the world that kinda check in with the horror history and hauntings, creepy little weirdos. Can you give,
Yeah.
like, specifics, like date, time, places?
Yeah, so this Elkins Fright Night is happening at the Elkins VFW. It's on our Facebook page, the Green Eggs Foundation. We have an event for that. Also, along with that is links to get tickets. And also, if you are not in the area, you can't be there, we'll have links where you can actually donate to the cause. Doesn't matter how much you want to give, we will use that money towards whatever these kids in the area want to do. So, it'll all be
Nice, as
there.
long as it has stuff to do with the arts, correct?
Yes. We had some kids come up to us at a table who expressed interest in video game design. And we're like, okay, what is that going to entail? So we know what we need to get. There's kids who want to write and direct and perform their own theater shows. And then of course you got the music people who are like, well, I don't know how to
Right.
network, I don't know how to do this, I don't know. Come to us, we'll help you. Like we're gonna have a place for you, no matter what you want to do in the arts. So
That's awesome. And this is in Elkins, West Virginia, correct?
yeah, sorry. I was also
It's okay. I know you're, you know, country like me. We all know each other, so we all know where
yeah.
like you and I know where Elkins is, but Jimmy John down in California may not. So I just want to make
Right.
sure Jimmy John's taken care of. Um, so you're gonna have links, which after the airing here,
Mhm.
it's from you can send them to me, and I'll go ahead and put it in the description. So if anybody watches the playback, then they can have access to those links. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Do you have and you said that you've been doing, like, conventions. Is there any upcoming conventions where people can, like, come up and meet you and talk to you about
Yeah,
it?
there's one coming up September 13th. It's also in Elkins, West Virginia. It's called the Haunted Hollow Festival. So totally up your scene. They're gonna have a lot of they're gonna have
Right?
a lot of cryptics and stuff like that, setting off the season for fall. We'll be down there. We'll have our table. We're gonna have some activities for kids. Um, if anybody has an idea of what their kid would like to do, please let us know because we've got friendship bracelets going on. We're going to set some kids up. If they want to get lessons, we might be able to get some lessons like signed up and everything. And then, of course, you could purchase,
Oh, that would be cool.
purchase tickets from us for the show in October or even donate. So we'll be down there. We'd be happy to meet
Oh,
everybody.
nice.
So,
Right, right. That's what's fun about the conventions. You get to meet people, like, you normally wouldn't be able to meet in
yeah.
person, like, unless there's a big gathering of people, you know? That's why it's like I was like, "I need the flyers so when I go to MainCon, then I can spread the love."
Yes.
Excuse me. And who else is involved with the Grenades Foundation? Because you had mentioned,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Jordan couldn't make it tonight. He's got some stuff with his day job that he has to take care of. But he runs with me hand in hand. So me and him, if you see any of the graphics or anything, that's us. We're doing that. And then we have a committed board um, of about 5 to 6 people now. Uh, I'm not gonna drop their names just yet, because a couple of them,
Right,
a couple of them are a little shy still, but, we've got great heart, great drive. We all know what the cause is. We know these kids need this, and again, with the schools
right,
being put through the ringer, having to cut stuff, the arts are always first. So, we kinda
right.
keep a watch and see
Always.
which we're watching what's getting cut first and saying, "How can we soften that blow for
Yeah,
these kids because arts were important for us. If I didn't have music in high school, who knows where I would have been.
right.
So
Well, it's
we
like
all
I
have that.
said, books and the music room saved me in high school because those were the 2
Hmm.
spaces, like, I went to that I felt safe. Because back in my day, I hate ooh, that makes me sound old, but things weren't as safe and cuddly as they are
Hmm.
now. Not to say everything's perfect in school, but yeah, I got a little bit of bullying, you know, so I hid in the library and the music room. But unfortunately, because we came from such a small school, there wasn't a lot of opportunities to learn instruments, and that's something, like, Sam and I used to talk about. I'm like, "I would have loved to have learned to play the drums." That was my thing, like, if I
Yeah.
could have picked one instrument, it would have been the drums, you know? And he was always like, "Come up, you know, we'll tinker around," you know? And it's like it's one of those things, like, you always think there's gonna be a next time, you know, and
Yeah.
then shit happens, but there I go, man, I got the baddest potty mouth lately, it's awful. Anyway, but I wish there would have been even people looking into this kinda thing, like, when I was a kid, because it would have
Hmm.
been great for any kid, let alone what generation, and especially if it can help, you know, the healing process in a lot of ways, because music is very healing, and it's a
Yes.
way to express things that you can't normally express any other way.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes
that's
things
a
are
great
better said without words. So
right? Right. So, it's like you're giving a big gift to the kids in the community by doing this. So I admire that. And to have a location where anybody can basically be pushed in the direction of their passion is amazing.
yeah.
So
I
do you have
mean, ultimate goal is to have the facility with the programs that the kids have told us they want to do, and we get a kid around Memphis's age at 6 who the parents are like, they kind of do the arts. We know that they'd like to do this, but we don't know what they would want to do. And just open that door for that kid to walk in and be like, what do you see? What is your main passion?
right?
Like what is calling you right now? What do you want to learn? Let's get you in there.
Mhm.
So That's the main goal. That's the end game is to have
right?
that there.
Yeah, because the schools, it's too much passion out of kids, and kids don't know how to be creative anymore. Like if
Mm-mm.
it's not, just something that is basically told to them how to do it, they don't know how to think creatively and use those creative skills in a constructive way. And I think the first places they learn that is in the arts,
Mhm.
figuring out how does this thing that I'm holding in my hand make music, and dedicating yourself to that, and the patience required in that, and the passion that's required in that. And I think that's a huge piece in school that the kids will never have the opportunity. I mean, I had limited opportunities, but it made a world of difference.
Yeah, it's been proven that, anything to do with the arts will help a kid mentally as they're able to escape maybe any type of depression or anything that they have going on at home. It also
Mhm.
promotes teamwork and the ability to work with multiple people at once to create either a mural, a piece of music, even a novel, maybe a bunch of short stories or stuff like that. It's just been proven over and over again, and it's just sad that it's always the first to go,
Right?
always the last looked at. So,
Yep. And that's what's unfortunate, because it has the greatest impact on a lot of extracurricular activities. Not to say, I'm not pushing any agenda against like physical sports or anything,
mm-mm.
but it's one of those things, like they look at things, unfortunately, even kids, as almost a commodity, and how can we make money instead of how to make our future better.
Yeah,
So with sports, there's an opportunity to bring in income with tickets and sales, and I understand that. But it's also, there's a certain degree of expectation to make a well-rounded kid. And
yeah,
without the arts, I just don't feel, I mean, now they're closing down libraries. And it's like, how do you expect somebody to think critically and to reach for those things if they never know they're even there?
exactly.
And that's what's sad.
Exactly. I mean, anybody who was part of the music scene or music community when Sam was a part of it, I can't tell you how many shows or how many places we have went together and people would walk up and be like, "Oh man, I just can't get this part down." And just him giving them a few words of encouragement would give them the boost that they needed to go and work on it harder. So, in a sense,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess that's really where this boils down to. Um, since his passing, there's been a few musicians who still reach out to me who are like, "Well, he's not here." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do my best to give you Sam advice, but I'm Lisa. I'll try my best."
Mhm. I'll give you Lisa advice the
Yeah.
best I can, but
Yeah. So,
mhm.
I mean, it started with the fundraiser show, where the musicians who were part of his life did a benefit show to help me in Memphis, since everything happened
Mhm.
so quickly. And just sitting in the parking lot,
Right?
we were like, well, we could do this every year in his name and take the money that we get from the door and get kids instruments. Then it turned into how do you figure out which kid to give an instrument to and who needs it. And the more we started talking about it, that's when everything started getting cut. And we just said, we'll go nonprofit. Let's just do this.
Right, right.
So,
And, as diverse as the arts community is, you can have your own teachers, right there at the music community center. I know you don't really have a name for it yet, but, um and it would give also some kids something to do after school, because there's so many, like, after school programs that are getting cut
mhm,
too. It's not just the arts, it's anything after school that, costs extra money, I guess is the best way to put it, that they're cutting
yeah.
away. So, there's less places, because back, like, when we were young, we got into some trouble, I'm not gonna lie, but we also had those things
Yeah.
after school. And like it wasn't just go home, sit in front of a screen all day, and that's just your life. You work, you go home, you look at a screen, repeat, repeat, repeat. And I'm like, there's so much joy in music and the arts and things that people aren't even giving a kid a chance to even know about, which is
Yeah.
that's what's sad. But I think it like I kind of looped around ADHD. If you don't know me, it gives them something to do after school, so they don't feel the need if there's nothing to do besides screens to go out
Right.
and get in trouble. And I producer's in the background, so he's
Yeah.
having fun over there. But, because kids do, like, if they don't idle hands, I
Yeah.
guess. But, yeah, I would love to, see a place to go, learn music, hang out, actually connect on a human level with each other instead of by
Yes.
technology and text messaging, so
Yeah,
but that sounds
and it's
amazing.
gonna be kid driven. Like, we're not gonna go in and say, "We're gonna teach you this because this is what we think you need to learn." No, we're gonna allow the kids to come to us, and, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, there's a bunch of kids that love Taylor Swift. She has courses in colleges
Oh,
about it and stuff. If the kids really wanna learn it, we'll do it. You know what? You want it? We'll do it.
no matter how much it hurts, we will
Yeah.
Swiftie.
Yeah, we'll teach you how to break it down, like how she wrote the song, if that's what you wanna learn. I really hope you wanna do
Hi,
Primus, but
Laura.
okay. Okay, well, so it's
Well,
gonna be
whatever piques your
100% kid
interest.
driven. Yes,
That's awesome.
100% kid
Now,
driven, so
now, how much money are you gonna have to raise to make this dream a reality? That's the big
right
question.
now right now we're setting small goals. So by the end of this year, so by December 31st, we have a small goal, excuse me, of $5,000 to get us into the door within the city to start looking like what type of space would we need, what type, what would we have to do, where can we be located, who can we partner with. That's where we're starting now. Talk to us in January, that's obviously going to change, but we were just starting off the ground, just
Right,
getting everything going. We didn't want to make it a goal to where we were like, oh, we didn't hit it. This is totally obtainable. We can do this.
right,
And like I said, it's just the community. Community's awesome. Everybody we've talked to
right.
has seen the need for it. So let's go get it.
Okay. Well, the toilet flush, I just want to explain. We had a troll, and my producer was handling it, but I didn't know, and I was like, "Why are what?" Okay. Um, I live here. I exist in this space, and I just take as they come, flushing toilets, random, things, whatever. Oh, good. Too old to care. Anyway, so that's a lot to come up in a short amount of time. It's like $5,000.
Hmm.
And you're hoping to get it all in that one fundraiser, or even more than that is what you're hoping for?
Yeah, we're hoping for more than that. I mean, obviously the ticket sales will help. Like I said, we'll have some activities. I can let you guys in on one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Big Brother, but there is a part of that every season where they have the insult bot, where the
Oh my
insult bot will come
gosh.
in and just kind of roast people. One of our board members is going to sit in her little booth and she is just going to roast people based on how much you pay. So if you're looking to dump a boyfriend, bring him and she will help you. She will help you do it.
That's cute.
Yeah, so that's just one of the many activities. We're going to start releasing those here probably within the next couple of weeks. We do want to have a couple of tricks up our sleeves, surprises when you get there, but it's
Right,
going to be a
right.
fun time. So,
Yeah, it sounds like banging music, some fun games, some things to do and hang out, meet new people.
hmm,
You never know who could show up.
it's true. Very
Um,
true.
you never know who can show up. Um, and you're having the other thing you said in January, ADHD brain.
Oh, January. I said talk to us again in January after we take a look at how our first year
Oh,
went.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, with the
So,
fundraising. Okay, I'm
yeah,
putting it together.
yeah,
It's 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 starting to fit.
yeah. So that's, I mean, just even if you have an event that you think that you would like for us to show up at, reach out to us. Let us know. We are more than happy to come. We want to spread our word to as many people that will listen and to as many people who would like to help. So,
Spread that good Lord eggs and the spirit
that's
within
right.
to bless us with the green
That's
to
right.
provide these children with instruments. I'm sorry. He'd be laughing. That's the only reason I did that. He'd be laughing his butt
Oh, he
off.
would. He'd be like, "What are you doing?"
It's like, yep, that's my Aunt Chris. Definitely. That's why that they stay away from her. She's the crazy one. But with the Fright Fest, are you doing any creepy stuff?
Yeah. Um, we do have names for our stages. One I will go ahead and release. It's going to be kind of like our acoustic stage is going to be the bonfire stage. So it's going to look like you're at like a little camp around the campfire, hang out with us. A lot of interaction. You can be very close to that. Not so much the main stage. That's for the big dogs, but a lot of the artists who would have benefited from having this type of foundation are playing that bonfire stage. Um, Anytime that we talked to any of these artists, they were like, "Absolutely." And then we were like, "Do you need paid?" And most of them were like,
Right.
"Absolutely not." So, um, so a lot of these
Right.
artists will carry a lot on like their hearts on their sleeve, and they have some tremendous stories. So I definitely encourage if you're there, talk to them. One of the members of that stage is actually coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His name is Jason Romanis. He just completed a film with puppets that he made himself. He had went to try to source these puppets and they were like too much, so he made them himself, and he just had his movie played in downtown Pittsburgh. Great guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
very
cool.
interesting stories. Great music though. So he's just like one of our favorites that are
That's
going to be
cool.
there.
Well, that's the thing, like, there's a lot of truth in the saying, like, when you tell your kids to go for a cop, no, tell them to go for the biggest, scariest mom that you can find or the scariest dad, like, the more
Yes,
tattoos.
absolutely.
Most of the time, they are the biggest
Mhm,
sweethearts that would protect you more than anybody in the
mhm.
world, for sure. Especially, the metalheads, like, they're very respectful people. Like, I've never been to like, a situation when I've been dealing with, like, you know, a concert for Sam or whatever. Nobody, like, bunch of sweethearts, sweetest, group of people you
Yeah,
could meet.
they are.
But so you talked about the
Mhm,
links they can get a hold of you to help with the
mhm.
donations. Is there anything else people could like maybe if they play music, if they want to get involved in the way of like
Yeah.
helping educate young ones for free or
Yeah,
anything like that?
absolutely. If you're a musician who doesn't mind spending some time with the youth, to help build the music scene, definitely reach out to us. If you have ideas, you have your own kids, maybe not in the West Virginia region, maybe you're in a different state. If they have ideas for programs, let us know. We
Hey,
can
Rhonda.
we could take a look into maybe doing something digitally, or it's something that
Right? That's what I was gonna
yeah,
recommend because there's always, FaceTime or something like that, or well, there's other
yeah,
secured, things like that, um, but there's ways that you can educate
yeah,
digitally now. That wasn't an option,
yeah.
you
So
know?
I mean, just if you have anything at
So
all that you think would help us in our mission, reach out to us. Just send us a message on Facebook. One of many of us are connected there, and we'd be happy to work with you. You know,
and what's the name of the
it
Facebook
is
page?
yeah,
Just so
it's the
people
Green
know.
Eggs Foundation. The logo has a little egg with a music note on it. So if you see that, you're on the right page. And then from there, you can connect to our actual website, our emails, any events or anything that we're showing up to is always up to date on that page.
Okay. And it doesn't mean just music classes. I mean, art
Mm-mm.
classes, painting classes, because I do know, some people that are a part of my group that are painters and
Hey,
musicians and, even editing and film creating. If you want to help out, let Lisa know. And I'm sure she'd be more than happy to get you connected and helping out. Um,
yes,
and always, there's always donations. So if you can't be there in
yes,
person, be there with your wallet.
yes, please. Any amount will help, I promise. I promise. And
Right?
if you give us $1 and you're like, I want this to go strictly to poetry, our treasurer will make sure that happens. We'll put it in a separate fund.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really amazing. And if you have any, kids that are interested in music, is there a place that they could reach out to kind of get connected with your all's group to kind of get in line to be helped with lessons of
Yeah,
some sort?
they can also come everything goes through our Facebook page. So I mean, if you're too young to have a Facebook, have your parents reach out to us or at least have them look at the page. I think the main email address is on there. Let me take a look right quick. Sorry. Um,
You're fine. I mean, that's something that, you can straighten out before, there's the rush
yes.
will come.
Yes.
The especially, when they find out what it's truly for and like what it's
Mhm.
meant to do and how it's like it's going to be a nonprofit organization. So, most of the funds besides what goes to the upkeep of the business goes towards the kids and making sure
Yeah,
that we keep brushes and instruments in kids' hands and carry on the tradition of the arts when,
absolutely.
so many are not able to have the opportunity.
Yes. Um, so I mean, it's been a wild ride. We did get our 501(c)(3), so we are officially a nonprofit. We have the
Nice.
bank account.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
so we're just looking to get that started and really it's going to be a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been good work. Good.
Right. Right. Well, and it's going to be a lot more work. And you can have, help, and then you can have major help. The more help, the more hands, the less work there is to go around. So, like I said,
Absolutely.
you know, to anybody and everybody across the waves, through the rift, onward to, horror history and haunting. If you're involved in the arts or you know somebody that's involved in the arts or somebody that could be, beneficial and they're in the Elkins, West Virginia area, please reach out to the Green Eggs Foundation. I mean, the arts can save a life. So
Yes.
give these kids an outlet that they deserve. So on that note, I know you need to cut off here pretty soon because you got work to do. And I appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with me. We finally got a
Absolutely.
podcast, guys. Oh my God. It
Yeah.
actually went up. Oy vey. Um, but yeah, and I know he would be proud. Sam would be very proud that his name's being honored the way it is.
I hope so.
So I just wanted to say that from the bottom of my heart that, yeah, he would be very happy with that.
Yeah. Well, it
Him and his goofy
ah,
hats.
yes, the many goofy hats. Uh,
Right. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go because I know you have stuff to do. I want to thank all the people that and I'm gonna let you get off of here so you can just jet out. My producer's gonna jump on for the last 15 minutes. We're gonna just chat for the next 15 and let you know what's going on there. And thank you again, Lisa. Green Eggs Foundations. Look them up on Facebook. I will get links in the description as soon as I get them available. Bye,
all right,
love.
bye. Bye.
Kiss the baby.
I will. Oh,
Okay. Let's pull on my great mentor and fabulous host of the Orion Effect and the founding member of the Rift Network, Howie. Yay, Howie! I can't do the sounds
Yay!
like you do.
Well, I'm going to show you all of that stuff. It just helps with the show, keeps the people interactive, and especially now that we've gone back to a solid podcast, so podcast
Right,
vidcast, it's going to add to a little more substance to our little shows, if you will. So don't worry, you're going to get used to it. I know you're new, so that's why I was typing in, going, "Don't worry, we've got a troll. We do a special thing here." And the
when
reason
I
we do
did the
that,
podcast before, everything was pre-recorded, so I didn't have to worry about the trolling in chat during the podcast.
yeah, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more hands on here, and majority of your, I see Rhonda Harris is here, and Mama Susan's your boss.
Hi,
Uh,
guys.
I see a lot of them. I saw Keith Ottersberg from the Otters Den jump on. They know, and these are the little tricks. You don't have to be disrespectful towards people or bots because it's unprofessional. However, you can put some comedy into it. So the fact of adding that, flushing the you know what down the celestial plumbing is one way of how we do it.
Right, the
Yeah,
tube.
yeah. Then you can add a little something at the end on a verbal. Oh, that's the end of that one. Let's send that down the pipeline and keep going. It's
Right,
part. It's what makes this fun.
right.
I you know you get someone.
Yeah, yeah. It's different than the pre-recorded, but it's still fun in itself. I just wish that my other episodes went up the way they were supposed to, but I'll have to reschedule with those guys. I'm sorry if I couldn't make it work, guys.
You
Like
know
that
what?
sucks.
It's the one thing I'm going to tell you, like I've told all my other hosts and hostesses. First things first. It doesn't matter if 1 or 1 million people are watching and listening. You're touching somebody's life. First of all.
Yeah, that's the
Second,
hope.
you know, absolutely. And second is things happen. I mean, we've all had growth spurts. Even Rhonda and I, even the Orion effect, it had its own growth spurt. I had to learn on the fly. I taught myself how to build this network and how to work my show. And, Susan and I got together and, I've got to say something while we're talking about that. Susan is the one that brought this format to us. That she wasn't the first to say something to me about it. I've got to give a lot of credit to Jeff and Shelley Presley. They're the ones who really put that idea in my head. Susan's the one that gave it birth, if you will, made it grow and put that on there. So all this goes to Jeff and Shelley. They're amazing people. And we wish that we could have them back, but they've got a lot of issues in their social life right now that they need to focus on. So maybe they'll be back one day.
Gotcha.
Maybe they'll be back one day. So yeah.
Well, and I just heard there was some additions to the reach that the Rift Radio Network is going to have. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. We just landed 4 more platforms thanks to Ryan C. Jones. Um, he's been really working hard on the back end as well. That's the one thing I say about this network. Everybody's a team member.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody plays a little bit of part. Everybody has you know, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mama. Everybody is very, I want to say,
It's a
what's the word?
family.
It is. It really is. It really is. And I'm,
Even when people they come back and family, like
well, we all can be
stuff
hotheads.
happens. So
We're human, and it's just how we handle it. Maybe we might take something wrong that somebody else says in the family, but the one thing I do say, I have yet, since we have got this new structure, I'm going to say this, and Susan can back me up, or Rhonda will back me up. I can say, since we have put this new structure, this new format, some of the new hosts and some of the old hosts, because a lot of old hosts have come back to the original network when we start beginning. So that's really awesome. There has yet to be any really big conflict. We hear it, we see it, we'll walk away, or maybe we'll talk it out. And that's really what we are doing, is communicating. That's what we're doing in the world. That's what we need to do in the world, is
awesome,
communicate better. So that's the one I love
right?
about this network. And yes, the word family does come to mind. I've always said it. We're one galactic family under God.
Right?
So yeah, 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 yeah. And I see Sue.
Yeah, I just needed time to grow and hatch. It's like how do wow, that's not what I meant.
Guys.
There is I always been trying for years to get me in front of the camera, and I wasn't ready, man. I just was not ready for it. But it
Yeah.
took some growth and making myself get in front of the camera. He's rolling cigarettes if you wonder what the the noise in the
Oh, it's
background
all
is.
good.
It's my robot going off in the background, Rink, rink.
Well,
And anyway,
it's
I had to learn how to be okay with me and realize people are okay with me how I am. I don't need to lose 50 pounds to do something that I enjoy doing, and people will come and support. My tribe will come, and they have been told. So
I agree. Absolutely. Applause to that. Maman, thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Um, absolutely. We all need a period of growth. And,
mhm.
this is really your first time of being in front of the camera live. And you're going to find your niche. Everybody is going to find that what works. You're going to find out it's 15-second delay here or there, how to work with the timing, how to work with people, and what substance to put in there, because it's what this is all about, putting substance into what we do. And it's going to come.
The light's killing me.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're good. Up, see, there you go. Mama says, "Me too, girl. I used to be behind the camera." Yeah, she did. She did. Yep. And she popped out, and then pow, we started doing this. I mean, she was live
Right,
before we were live. So yeah.
right. She's the mama. No, for me, it was like I just had a couple. Like I just decided one day to put myself out there and expand my horizons a little bit, and then it's like, oh, you do this thing, I like you. Let's do this, and then let's go. Like, oh, you're doing a podcast. I'm like, not currently. Well, you need to, hun. You need to. You need to get on that. And it's like, oh,
So
sure, we'll
Rhonda
get back on
Harris is
that.
here. I'm going to say this because I said the same thing to Rhonda Harris when we were 16 and 15 years old, which she does. I mean, she's a certified medium. And I told her, girl, you got skills. You need to work on this. And Oh, we split our paths and came back. What is she? Now she's a certified medium. I saw that kind of, I know it's sad to say, but right now, 15 years, no, 10 years ago with you, when we were working together here in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I saw that and I knew it. I was like, oh, this is, yeah, you're going to do things. You're going to do things, and you have, and now you're growing into yourself. I mean, this show. I mean, when you did the rocking chair with some of you may not know, when you were hosting that, you were still behind the camera. You weren't really in front of the camera, but it was a great production. That was a production. And now this may be a production, but it's a live feed. It's a live talk show. You're offering information and the goods to people and let people their voice be heard, and that's why we made this network. The voice for the people, by the people.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to do. I want to give people a chance to tell their story, and the old Art Bell style. Just let people talk and listen, and that's what I want to do. So
I think you
that's my goal.
I think you're right on it, because actually that's actually how this network got started. Um, when I created the Rift Radio, it was a talk show with the thought of, you remember back in the 70s and the 80s, you could talk to the DJs on the telephone and they would talk to you. You would talk to them on air or whatever. We had,
Right.
yeah.
I want to play this song for my girlfriend, and I'm like 12.
Yeah. And sometimes,
Yes,
yeah,
I
that's
remember
true.
that.
And sometimes a DJ would keep you on and y'all would talk. We had a gentleman here, well, not here, but in Richmond, by the name of Kirby Carmichael, that was on Q94. And there was a set of us that could call in, and Kirby would just shoot the shit with us all night, as long as we stayed up. It was kind of like helping him too, because he would tell you, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, all right, and come back. All right, what do we got going on? And I missed that. And that's what we needed. It's kind of like the Wolfman Jack of our modern times, is getting on there and talking to people. And you're right, letting people have
Right.
a voice, giving your personality, you being you, because there's no reason to be scared not to be you.
hmm
Nobody wants.
Right, and that takes a lot to figure out. Like, people don't like explain that to you, that you just have to be okay with you. And it sounds like duh, but when you're in it, like, you're like, what? I gotta not worry about, you know, the makeup and the nails and the clothes and everything. But I've really, like, I don't know, I had an epiphany, like, when Sam died. Um, the young man that we were talking about, because he died a little over a year ago. And there were so many things, like, he wanted to do and see and experience, and he was planning on going to his son's first soccer match that day that he passed, and he never got to see that. And I'm like, I am 46 years old, and, like, he was 9 years younger than me, and I'm like, holy shit, there is so much in my life I still want to do and see and experience. So it's like I've kind of carried that flame of, like, I'm going to do the things that I want to do while I
Yeah,
can still do them.
I agree.
And so I've kind of just threw myself out there and said, here I am, guys. Like me or hate me. Here
After
I
that,
am.
that's something else you said to me when you came back and said, okay, I need that show. And I was like, let's make that magic happen. And I'm not going to say it on air, but I caught it. And that's when I knew you were ready. And you're going to go through another stage. I promise you. That's what happened with me. I grew out of the podcasting, started the next level of being a complete network, changing the name from the Rift Radio to the Orion Effect. And then my persona popped out, the hitman popped out. And it's, I let it out. I let that persona out. And it's just who I am. I love steampunk. I love paranormal. I'm very intelligent and knowledgeable when it comes to the fields. And, just This whole thing I hear about people go, you're a know-it-all. Well, the fact is really I'm not a know-it-all. It's because I do know it, and you don't want to take the effort to learn it. So why are you calling me a
Right.
know-it-all? And I'm trying to share my knowledge with you. Don't be scared to do that. As we say, Miss Professor, this be true.
Stuck. That moniker has stuck. The ghost professor. I hate to say it, but it has. Wasn't something that I picked, but it was for the same reasons because I love research. It's just always been my thing, and my ADHD loves to find out new topics. And I love the paranormal and the weird stuff. I always have. So I was going to do it regardless if
I
I did
read.
anything with the knowledge. I was going to deep dive and find it all out, you know? So why not share that in some way, shape, or form with other people that could, have that passion too and is just looking
I
for that
agree.
knowledge. So I try to keep it as unopinionated as I can. Now, when I get directly asked, I will kind of tell my opinion, but I try to keep it as unopinionated as I
Well,
possibly can and just tell the folklore and the
just be
story
yourself.
and the
That's all I
experience.
ever ask. Just be yourself. We all have our opinions. We all try to keep that fine line of positive to negative. We all good people do bad things, and
Checks and
that's right.
balances, man. Checks and
Yeah,
balances.
good people do bad things, and bad people do good things. So, with that being said,
Most
yeah.
definitely.
So, with that being said, you know, we're gonna be who we are, and that's the growth of it. That's the whole purpose behind this. It really is, and it's
Right?
basically telling anybody who has a sarcastic insight or smart mouth or whatever, or they want to belittle. Well, they're belittling themselves because their intelligence level drops about the size of their IQ, which is their shoe size. So let that's it. Also, I found that doing this, you get some haters and you get some stalkers. I got a stalker, and yeah, she's actually in West Virginia, so that's interesting. Uh, uh, so I've had to battle that. I've had to battle some building of the network itself and some financial and economic status, but it's been good because I will defend any and every single one of you in this network to the very teeth of grinding, even if you're wrong. I will defend you, and then I'll say something to the back of you, going, "Maybe we shouldn't have done that."
Right?
There's a right
That
now that
line, you kind of bounced across it. You need to bounce back a little bit. Like,
yeah, some
pull
of
it
them
back.
know it too, and they're like, "Oops, I think I went too far." Like it's okay. Well, let's try to work on it.
It happens,
Yep.
but I gotcha.
Well, I see you got about a minute and a half left on your show here, so I want to take that time to welcome you back home officially.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Rift Nation Network. We are so pleasantly happy to have you here to doing this show and maybe bringing back some nostalgia of another possible show in the future. Uh,
We will
and we're
see.
gonna
I have my awful full right now.
we sometimes we grow in different ways. Just remember that we've got to keep our realm open, if you will, and
Right, right.
just remember to it is a family, and you don't have to do this by yourself anymore. So on that one, I bid you adieu, my dear. You have a wonderful evening, and travelers and those alike, may virtue be yours. Good night, folks.
Thanks, guys, for checking us out tonight. I just want to give everybody a big thank you for hanging in there with me. We finally got one up. Yay! And I just, like I said, I want to thank Susan for helping me learn this stuff so I know what the hell I'm doing halfway. And um, everybody that's been supportive. I will get to you eventually to get you scheduled, I promise, or rescheduled. But I just want to say thank you for watching. Good night. And as always, sweet dreams. Bye.